Welcome to Taste Reviews Drink Edition. I'm your host, Derek Silver, and we back for another tasting and another review. Today we have Pendleton American Bourbon Whiskey, straight bourbon, aged 10 years. Now let's start with the bottle. Classic bottle look, but I like the fact that it has, this detail around the bottle. And one in particular is the same thing that's on the label is a cowboy riding a horse. So the label, it's a nice label, gets right to the point, tell you what it is. Highlights that it's aged 10 years. I like that as well. Overall, I love the bottle. I love the fact that it's classic look, but then they added some details to it. The reason I picked this one up today was the fact that it was aged 10 years and it was at a good price point for a bourbon whiskey aged at 10 years. Now let's start on the back of the bottle and we're going to move on to the website. Now it says crafted as a tribute to the ruggedness of the West. This 10-year-old bourbon is robust in flavor and cut to 90 proof with Mount Hood glacier-fed spring water. Named in honor of the inaugural year of the Pendleton Roundup, the legendary outdoor rodeo held in Oregon for over a century, Pendleton 1910 bourbon celebrates the rich legacies of true Western tradition. So it's 90 proof, 45% alcohol volume, and let's move on to the website. This is the 10-year age bourbon. They have several others on their website that you can purchase. I got this one in the store. This was the only one I saw in the store from their selection. So it says Pendleton 1910 bourbon honors the inaugural year of the legendary Pendleton Roundup, a century-old rodeo that celebrates the rugged spirit of the American West. Aged for a decade in white American oak barrels, Pendleton 1910 bourbon offers a robust and complex flavor profile. It is not just poured, it is earned. So let's start with the tasting notes, and they have them up here. I love it. I love it. I love tasting notes on the website. And the website will be down in the description box below. So it says nose, imbued with rich maple syrup and toasted oak, offering a warm and inviting aroma. Palate, unfolds with a luscious caramel sweetness, balanced by creamy vanilla and a warming rye spice. Finish, satisfying with a lingering warmth from the rye spice that leaves a pleasant tingle on the palate. Here's some key facts. They put key facts on the website, so I'm going to read those too. It says a blend of high and low rye bourbons, aged for 10 years in white American oak barrels, cut to proof with pure glacier-fed spring water from Oregon's Mount Hood. I like that. I like stuff like that. Any type of quick facts or any type of information, tasting notes, anything that you can put on the website, I love stuff like that. I love learning about the bourbons. I love learning about the type of work and craftsmanship and creativity that was put into the bourbon. So they also have on here recommended cocktails that you can make with the bourbon. I love that as well. So check out the website if you got time. But we're going to move on to your favorite part of the show. My favorite part as well, the tasting. So pop that open. Let me smell this cork. Smells good. Definitely smells like it's been aged. Definitely smells like it's been aged. I definitely can smell the oak. I had to, just get my sinuses going up in there. I smell the oak. I smell the syrup. It definitely, even though I can tell that it's been aged 10 years, it definitely has a inviting smell, and I like that. And that's definitely what they put on the website, that is warm and inviting aroma. So that's definitely a good thing. So now let's start with the nose and glass, drinking it neat. Forgot to pour, but we all good. Has a nice little copper color to it. Yeah, copper, bronze color to it. It's kind of oily. Has a good amount of oil to it that's sitting on the glass. but a good color. Definitely has a good color to it. So we're gonna stir it up, sniff. Smells really good. Smells exactly the same. I can smell the caramel. I can smell the oak. I definitely smell vanilla as well. That wasn't in the tasting notes for the nose, but I can smell the vanilla. Smells really good. Smells like a classic bourbon, but just aged. I don't smell too much spice, just maybe a little bit. So time to sip. So on the front end, I'm definitely getting that spice. I'm getting that rye spice. It's definitely a rye spice, like they describe. It definitely has a sweetness to it. You get the spice on the front end, more majority spice on the front end, but it's still sweet on the front end. But you get more of the sweetness in the middle, and you taste that vanilla, and the vanilla is definitely creamy in the middle, and you can taste it a little bit on the finish, and it definitely has a warming effect to it. Um, they say the finish is satisfying with a lingering warmth from the rye spice that leaves a pleasant tingle on the palate. It definitely has a warmth to it. It's not a harsh warmth. I would say the finish is long. It's long and it lingers a little bit, but it's not like overwhelming. You get a little bit of the spice on the back end as well, but it flows. Like you get that spice on the front end, it turns into that sweet, creamy flavor in the middle, and then it balances itself out with a little bit more spice and warmth on the end. So it's coming off so far real good, like a classic aged bourbon whiskey. So I definitely can tell that it's been aged, and I'm shocked that it's not higher proof because of how long it's been aged. Um, it's only 90 proof. I'm surprised because it's not aged for 10 years, that is not close to 100, if not 100. But it still comes off very good. So let me finish this off. Stir it up again. Sniff it. Sip. Tastes good and neat. All right, let's go to the tumbler, the glass with a splash of water. I'm going to cleanse my palate first due to the fact that that finish is long and it lingers a little bit. Drop that splash of water in here. Get that going. Let's see what this water does to the whiskey now. Stir it up. Let me get that sniff. Still getting the same smell. It actually smells better now. Like it smells even better with the splash of water. It smells really good right now. It almost smells like it could be a cologne or some type of scented candle or something. It smells really good. It's like that splash of water balanced out the spice and the sweetness and that oak. So it's like came all together. It's like you getting that 50-50-50 split down with that splash of water. Hold on, burp number one coming through. Burp number one. Burp number two. So now with the splash of water, the flavor, the spice on the front end is calmer now, but you still get that rye spice and you get that oak, you get that vanilla is creamy. I'm not tasting the caramel as much, but it still has a sweetness to it. It's coming off, and even the finish is like medium now, and it's not. It doesn't give you that much of a warm effect. It's not lingering. So with the splash of water, this one would be much better for intermediate bourbon whiskey drinker. You could possibly let a beginner try it with a splash of water. Um, I would be interested to see what a beginner would think of it with a splash of water, because I can definitely tell that this whiskey has been aged for 10 years. Yeah, I'm getting that spice, but we're gonna go ahead and get the tumbler with ice ready. The end of the show glass. Pour that up. All right, get that ready. Stir that around a little bit. Let that get together. All right, back to the tumbler with a splash of water. So yeah, it's definitely a much balanced flavor profile now, with that spice, with that oak, with that caramel, with that vanilla, and it comes together perfectly. Um, now that I'm thinking about it even more, it's coming together real perfect for a 10-year age bourbon. It's not harsh, it's not strong, it's not throwing you off, it's not making you turn your face up or nothing like that. So let me finish this off. Yeah. The spice, the spice to me isn't bad. Like when it comes to rye, not everybody can handle that rye flavor. Um, But the fact that the spice isn't overwhelming and that rye isn't overwhelming is a good thing, because um, it can throw a lot of people off. And yeah, for it to be aged 10 years and having that rye spice, yeah, that could be tough for some beginners, even intermediates. But I'm an experienced bourbon whiskey drinker now. And you should be too, since you've been watching for so long. Now let's get to the tumbler with ice. Stir this thing up, get it cold. Sniff. Right now, I'm not getting too much of the spice scent. I'm getting oak. I'm not getting too much sweetness. Yeah, I'm getting more oak right now with the ice. Let me cleanse my palate before I forget. All right. Now back to the tumbler with the ice. Stir this around. Sniff. I'm still getting that oak. Sip. So now the flavor is much more calmer with the ice. It's even more creamier now. Like I on the front end, I tasted more cream and vanilla as opposed to the spice. The spice has calmed down a lot. The spice has really calmed down now with the ice in it. So I'm getting more of the creamy vanilla flavor. I'm getting a little bit of the sweetness. I'm really not getting any spice at all. And on the finish is very short right now. I'm not getting that warming effect or anything. It's not lingering. So the tumbler with ice, if you wanted to try this uh, without making a cocktail for a beginner, give it to them on the rocks and let it, let it get cold, and they'll be fine. And they'll be able to taste more of the creamy vanilla and that slight caramel sweetness, and they won't have to worry about the spice at all. So, Pendleton 1910 American Bourbon Whiskey, straight bourbon, aged 10 years. Out of 5 tastes, for it to be 10 years, I'm kind of, like I said already, I would have thought that with it being aged 10 years, that it would have been close to 100 proof, if not 100 proof. But I'm not mad at it at all. You can definitely tell that it's been aged for 10 years. And out of five tastes, I give this one a 3 point. I give it a 3.7, 3.8. For it to be a 10-year aged bourbon whiskey, it has great flavor to it. You get a balance of all the flavors, that spice, that oak, that vanilla, that caramel. And like I always say, I like my bourbons, my whiskeys 3 ways. I like to try them 3 ways so I can see how I like it, and so I can suggest to you what you may like. Now, with the 3 different tastes for experienced drinkers, go ahead and try neat. You'll be fine. For splash of water, intermediate, experienced drinkers, you good. For on the rocks, beginners, intermediates, experienced, you can try it. So this one will be great, drinking 3 ways depending on your experience level, and it will be good for a cocktail. I can see a nice old fashioned made out of this one, as well as a whiskey sour, and any other type of cocktail that you can make out of whiskeys, because this one has um, every pinpoint of a classic bourbon whiskey with the spice, with the oak, with the vanilla, and with the caramel sweetness, and that vanilla giving that creamy effect. So make sure you check out Pendleton 1910 American Bourbon Whiskey, straight bourbon, aged 10 years. Check it out. And if you're not looking for a 10-year age one, I haven't tried the other ones, the original version. Try it. Let me know. Um, hey, shout out to you. Shout out to all the followers, the likes, the comments, the supporters. I appreciate you. If you want to donate to the show, it's down in the description box. Thank you for those who have donated to the show. Thank you for everybody who supported me. Make sure you check me out next week for another taste review. And make sure you drink responsibly. Drink responsibly.